Hello, boxing fans around the world. Thank you for joining me once again here on Talkin Fight for another episode of Boxing News Headlines. Courtesy of our friends, by the way, across the pond at boxing247.com. And we're going to start off with a story emanating out of Philadelphia regarding a heavyweight by the name of Joey Dowell Joe. Joey was semi-retired from boxing and had started a roofing company, but he re-entered the ring and enjoyed a fourth-round knockout in his Parx Casino debut back on September the 1st. So he's re-entering the ring and is going to fight Terrell Jamal Woods on Friday, October 7th. So also on that bill, I should let you know, it's going to be a good one. D'Angelo Fuentes will make his second appearance in the Philadelphia area, and he'll fight against an opponent to be determined. Then we have Diane Butt out of Philadelphia making a quick turnaround. He's coming off a win at Parx Casino back on September 1st as well, and he's looking to stay undefeated at Parx Casino. Brendan O'Callahan out of Philadelphia is going to be competing against an opponent to be determined in a 4-round super welterweight bout. Russian fighter Soslan Albarov out of Philadelphia as well will be fighting an opponent to be determined. And finally, in a 4-round super lightweight bout, Hakeem Smith, also out of Philadelphia, will be competing against Boris Nedi out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So a good fight shaping up there at Parx Casino, just outside of Philadelphia. Austin Williams has got his career back on track and targeting the big guns at middleweight. But first, must see off Kieran Conway as he looks to claim back-to-back vacant titles on the unbeaten card of the epic trilogy clash between Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Triple G Golovkin, taking place at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas on Saturday night. It's coming this Saturday night, September 17th. As we all know, this event is being presented by Matchroom, Canelo Boxing, and Triple G Promotions, and it's going to be broadcast live on DAZN. Williams, 11-0 with 9 knockouts, picked up his first title in his last outing in April, blasting Cordell Booker away inside the opening round to pick up the WBA Continental Americas title at Madison Square Garden in New York. Ammo now meets Conway for the WBA International title and should improve on his number 6 rating with the WBA if he can see off the Briton who appears on his second Canelo Alvarez undercard. Victory for Williams would be the latest step in a positive return to the ring for the Houston talent after he took time out from the sport in April 2021 to concentrate on his mental health. The 26-year-old has made some changes to his training team ahead of it, but he believes he's in a great frame of mind in and out of the ring and will seize the chance to impress on a huge platform. Absolutely. He said, "It is my honor and a dream come true to open up the Canelo versus Triple G number 3 trilogy pay-per-view telecast at Williams. I will deliver an unforgettable experience and capture my second consecutive title in the most sophisticated way imaginable. I fought on a Canelo card before and got a brilliant reaction to my performance that night. So Eddie Hearn knows that the more energy that this is in play, the more I can use it and give back to the fans. Eddie signed me as a young kid. I was just 22, and they introduced me to the world. Everyone has seen me mature as a man, and the team understand that you sign kids, you're watching them grow. You learn every day, and you learn what you go through, and you become a man from it. I decided to make a change, go back to my regular team. I learned so much from Kevin Cunningham. It was a great place for me to be at the time with the struggles I went through with my mental health, to be with someone that is very structured. Kevin was in the military and a police officer. He's lived in harsh environments and was the right man to polish me up and taught me a lot about the business. I saw I had boxing ability and talent. He took another route and taught me the game, how much boxing is in the mind, because he's been there, and I was receptive to listening to it." So good words from a young man who we're going to see on the undercard of the Triple G and Canelo Alvarez fight coming up, as I said, on September 17th. Sadly, news out of UK, a torn bicep suffered in sparring has ruled Leigh Wood out of his WBA featherweight world title defense against Mexico's Mauricio Lara. That was to be held at the Motor Point Arena, Nottingham, on Saturday, September 24th. But the fight will continue. They will go ahead as scheduled, with Rosington's Maxie Hughes defending his IBO lightweight world title against Sheffield's former IBF featherweight world champ, Kid Galahad, in a huge Yorkshire Derby at the top of the bill, live worldwide on DAZN, excluding Australia and New Zealand. Maxie, also called Maximus, is 25-2-2 with 5 knockouts, who's undefeated since November 2019, landed the IBO crown with a shutout points win over dangerous Mexican Giovanni Straffon in September last year, before making a successful first defense against Ryan Walsh in March. Galahad, for his part, 28-2, 17 knockouts, will be looking to return to winning ways up at lightweight after suffering a shock knockout loss to Spanish veteran Kiko Martinez in what was supposed to be a routine maiden defense of his IBF title at the Sheffield Arena back in November 2021. On the undercard, by the way, is also fighting that night Terry Harper, 12-101. She leaps up in weight to challenge Scotland's Hannah Rankin, 12-5, 3 knockouts for her IBO and WBA super welterweight world titles in an intriguing England versus Scotland clash. Former IBO and WBC super featherweight world champ Harper lost her titles at the hands of USA's Alicia Baumgartner on the undercard at Galahad versus Martinez last year, before landing the WBA Intercontinental lightweight title against Yamila Alabnida in March. Rankin, for her part, captured gold by decisioning Maria Lindberg over 10 rounds at Tottenham Hotspur FC Banqueting Hall back in November 2021, before defending her belts against Mexico's Alejandra Aya at the SSE Hydro in Glasgow in May. Birmingham heavyweight, by the way, Solomon Dekres, 4-0, meets Dominic Akladi, 9-3 and 1 draw, with 4 knockouts over 10 rounds. Former Team GB Olympian Siobhan Clark, 2-0, looks to maintain his perfect start to life in the cruiserweight division against Argentina's Marcos Karolitsky, 7-5-2, 2 knockouts. Welterweight talent Cyrus Pattinson, 4-0, has his 5th fight in the paid ranks. And new Matchroom super welterweight signing Junaid Bostan, 2-0, aims to make it 3 knockouts from 3 fights. Super bantamweight prospect Nicole Livers returns to action after his technical draw in Sheffield, and Wigan lightweight Rion Dixon fights for the first time in the under the STN Sports banner. We're gutted to lose such an explosive headliner in Leigh Wood versus Mauricio Lara, so close to fight week, but unfortunately Leigh suffered a torn bicep during sparring, and there's no way he can get in the ring against such a dangerous opponent with only one arm, said Matchroom Sport Chairman Eddie Hearn. I'm pleased to confirm that our show at the Motor Point Arena in Nottingham on September 24th will go ahead with the IBO lightweight title world clash between Yorkshire rivals Maxie Hughes and Kid Galahad, now topping the bill. There's more world title action on the undercard, with Hannah Rankin defending her WB and IBO super welterweight belts against former super featherweight world champ Terry Harper. Both Hughes versus Galahad and Rankin versus Harper are worthy of headlining their own shows, and we've got some of the best emerging talent featured on the undercard, such as Cyrus Pattinson and Junaid Bostan, as I pointed out earlier, said Hearn. Okay, let's move along to Vasily Lomachenko. Loma, a 3-weight world champion, will make his triumphant New York City return in a 12-round main event Saturday, October 29th, against undefeated contender Jamaine the Technician Ortiz. And that's taking place at the Hulu Theater, Madison Square Garden. The 10-round featherweight co-feature sees 2-time Cuban Olympic gold medalist Rabisi El Tren Ramirez attempt to author a career-best win against former world champion Jesse Magdaleno. U.S. silver medalist Richard Torres Jr., 3-0, 3 knockouts, who's coming off a 44-second knockout over Marco Antonio Canedo in August, looks to make it 4-0 in a 6-round heavyweight special feature. Lomachenko versus Ortiz, Ramirez versus Magdaleno, and Torres Jr. headline a card that streams live and exclusively on ESPN Plus, promoted by Top Rank. Tickets are already on sale and will be available to purchase at Ticketmaster.com. Lomachenko was set to fight then unified lightweight champ George Kambosos Jr. earlier this year, but when Russia invaded Ukraine, he put his boxing career on hold to join a territorial defense battalion in his homeland. Said Bob Arum, Vasily Lomachenko is a credit to his country and the sport of boxing. When his country needed him, Vasily did not hesitate. We are thrilled that he's safe and fighting once again at the Hulu Theater at Madison Square Garden, his home away from home. And Jamaine Ortiz as a young, hungry, undefeated fighter who understands that a victory over a living legend like Loma would be life-changing. Loma's record, by the way, 60-2, 11 knockouts, has a resume that is unmatched in modern boxing. A two-time Olympic gold medalist for Ukraine, he had a 396-1 amateur record, won a world title in his third pro fight, and became a three-weight world champion in his 12th bout. Lomachenko unified 3 of the 4 lightweight titles before a loss to Teofimo Lopez in October 2020. In October 2020, derailed his quest for undisputed supremacy. Last year, he came back, though, with one-sided victories over Japanese Nakatani and Rutger Kami. Lomachenko is 5-0 at Madison Square Garden, including the win over Kami and his one-sided drubbing over fellow two-time Olympic gold medalist Guillermo Rigodon. He arrived in Southern California last month to resume his career and work towards a goal of capturing the undisputed lightweight title, which is currently held by Devin the Dream Haney. Lomachenko said, I love my sport, and I'm so glad to be back. My goal is to win the undisputed lightweight title, but I will not take Jamaine Ortiz lightly. Madison Square Garden and Hulu Theater at Madison Square Garden have been special places in my career, and I look forward to making more great memories on October 29th. I'm going to dedicate this fight to all my Ukrainian people. I wear the flag proudly every time I step in the ring. Fair enough. Split T, we're excited about 3 of their fighters on the past weekend who had victories, and they get sent as a note. In an entertaining scrap that produced a lot of contact, Joseph Ordonez won a 10-round unanimous decision over Hugo Alberto Rodin to win the IBF Latino Junior Welterweight title at Bally's Atlantic City. Meanwhile, in Montreal, Canada, Mary Spencer remained undefeated with a first-round stoppage over former world title challenger Cynthia Lozano in a junior middleweight bout to capture the WBA International and WBC Silver Super Welterweight titles. Spencer rocked Lozano in the opening seconds and then dropped her with a left hook. With Lozano hurt, Spencer landed a big flurry of punches that forced the stoppage just 23 seconds into the contest. Spencer, by the way, is now 7-0 with 5 knockouts, and Lorenzo drops to 9-2. Spencer, by the way, is promoted by Eye of the Tiger Management, which we reported on earlier. Meanwhile, the third of that trio, Split T, want to announce down in Plant City, Florida, junior middleweight fighter Marquez Valle remained undefeated by taking out veteran Benjamin Whitaker in the opening round of their junior middleweight contest. Valle, 23 years, out of Wesley Chapel, Florida, is now 6-0 with 6 knockouts. Whitaker, out of San Antonio, Texas, is now 15-10, and Valle is promoted by Pro Box Promotions. Good stuff. And for the last story of the day, we're going to turn our attention once again to the 6th annual Box Fan Expo and announce that 4-division world champion and Hall of Famer Roy Jones Jr. has confirmed his appearance at the show. And that'll take place on Saturday, September 17th at the Las Vegas Convention Center from 10 a.m. in the morning till 5 p.m. in the evening. And it will also coincide with the mega trilogy fight that we announced earlier, Canelo Alvarez versus Triple G Gennady Golovkin. That will take place later that evening at the T-Mobile Arena. Jones Jr. will hold a meet and greet with his fans at his booth during the fan event held over at the event held over the Mexican Independence Day weekend. It's an annual event that coincides with some of the sport's legendary classic fights in Las Vegas, including Mayweather versus Medina 1, Mayweather versus Berto, Canelo versus Chavez Jr., Canelo versus Triple G 2, and Canelo versus Jacobs. So good stuff for the fans down in Las Vegas this weekend. And not only the fight, this, as I said, 6th annual Box Fan Expo. Well, there you have it, boxing fans around the world. Thanks for joining me here on Talkin' Fight. It's been a great episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you later on at 4 p.m. for Knuckle Up with Mike Orr and Cedric Ben.